Good Monday morning, mateys. How y'all doing? Welcome to another live stream of horror news and channel updates here on Dead Meat. Shout out to Ramen Noodles, first one in the chat this morning. Got mug of the day. Mornings are for coffee and contemplation. It's a Stranger Things thing, because I've been living in Stranger Things land. I really hope I get that episode out on time, man. It's a lot. It's beating me down, dude. Normally every year when Halloween ends, I give a heavy exhale. And I'm like, oh great, I made it, I'm done, I can rest. Wish I could say the same thing for this year, but not with this episode looming over me, man. Stranger Things is, it's a lot, and I'm so glad that there's only going to be one more season after this for me to cover. But in the meantime, it's a lot. So we'll see. We'll see. Thanks, Project Rex. And it's Bodhi. All right. Just wait for those spin-offs. Please, God, no. Yeah, no, the TV stuff is just, it's so hard, guys. It's just so hard. It's so different than a movie kill count. It's so much fucking work. Ugh. Bleh. Yeah, we'll get into the Terrifier lawsuit last, because I'm going to wait for people to show up so I don't have to re-explain things. But that's definitely the thing that I've been concerned about most. That news broke right after last week's live stream, so it's been out there for a week. But I will discuss it since it involves people near and dear to my heart. Thanks, Hunter. Thanks, Amazing Spider Dan. And thank you, The Creature. Appreciate it. Is there going to be an It Welcome to Derry kill count? Like, I mean, there should be, because it's such a popular show, I think. And the It property is so popular, and I'm enjoying it for the most part. But, again, the TV shows, man, they're rough. They're rough. Hey, thanks, Elwin Martin. I will take your money. I guess let's get into the news then. In the meantime, let's jump in there. Miramax is turning the Monster Mash into a movie. You know the Monster Mash. Working in the lab late one night. Song from 1962, which is funny. I feel like 10 years ago, I was like, oh, I thought that song came out a lot earlier than 62. It sounds older. I remember thinking that before, but now I'm like, no, 62 seems right. Like early 60s, they sound like that. Thank you, Domingo and New Blue. Anyway, it doesn't matter when it came out. You hear it every fucking year. Every Halloween, that shit flies back up the charts. Gets streamed all over the place. So they're making a movie of it. You got it. It's IP. That's valuable IP someone is sitting on, dude. It fucking tells you the story right there in the song. You know? Mad scientist goes into his lab. Monster doing a dance. They have a party, everyone loves to dance. That's fucking gold right there, man. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know why you wouldn't make a movie of this song that's 63 years old. That's leaving money on the table if you don't do it, dude. You gotta get that IP. You gotta make that IP. I guess you're right. Technically, we don't know what the Monster Mash is. There's a lot of A lot of available creativity there to mine with what exactly the Monster Mash is. Is it like the mashed potato? Is it more like a Watusi? I don't know. I don't know. Thanks, Cacadilla. Glad that you love starting the week this way. Thank you, Mr. Grouch, as well. Yeah, they're gonna make a movie of this. You know, normally I'm like, whatever, make a movie. This one feels I'm feeling a little cynical. It's just, do we need to do it? Is it gonna be animated? I think it's gonna be like a family horror. I guess that's fine. That's always good to bring in people, you know, like an animated movie. That's right, yeah. Thanks, Elwin. It does feel like Hotel Transylvania, right? Oh well, we got that to look forward to. You can see Keeper early with Longlegs and the Monkey as part of Neon's Osgood Perkins marathon. So Keeper I'm excited for. That's going to be coming out soon. Longlegs came out last year. I really enjoyed it. It was a bit divisive. Then the Monkey came out earlier this year because Oz Perkins just can't stop. And the Monkey will be covered on the kill count this month. I'm trying to work on it. I'm so burnt out, y'all. You know what it is? The Gressels moved out of our house. This is part of it. The Gressels moved out of our house. They've lived with us since we moved in here 5 years ago. They were able to become homeowners, and they got a house, and so now we're in our house by ourselves. It unlocked a lot of... It was all, you know, this was the plan all along. They were always going to get their own place, spread their wings, baby birds. They were going to fly off into their own thing. It's all good. They're still our best friends. Huge congrats to them for doing that. It is a little weird, though, not having them around. They've always lived with us. So this is the first time we have this house to ourselves. It unlocked more space. It's like a video game. We unlocked a new level. And it also is the case where now if I come across something in my house that I don't want there, there's not the thought of like, oh, it might be Gressels. I should leave it. Now, if I don't want it, I just want to get rid of it. And we have a lot of shit in this house, and I just want to clean. I want to declutter. I want to figure out what we're going to do with their space. And so that's where my passion is right now. That's what I want to do with my time. But there's this fucking Stranger Things kill count nagging at me. Yeah, Chelsea and I are empty nesters now. So I just want to get my life in order, you know? I can't. Not yet. Thank you, Laurel. Heads up, there probably won't be any kill counts in January. I need a fucking break, so probably no kill counts in January. We'll see. No, we've hired cleaners before Froggy Fresh. We don't have like a housekeeper who comes regularly, but we have cleaners come on occasion. But like it's more a matter of going through shit and figuring out what we want to keep and throw away. You can't really trust a random stranger to do that, you know? January. There'll be other stuff in January, but okay. Anyway, like I was saying, we've got Keeper coming out in just a couple of weeks on November 14th. And in the meantime, you can see it early on one day early at participating theaters, where one ticket gets you access to Longlegs, the Monkey, and Keeper. So I'm super excited for Keeper. I don't know anything about it. Gonna keep it that way. What do we got in LA? AMC Burbank 16? That makes sense. Okay. Wow, just like one theater for one day in each of these cities. Speaking of Osgood Perkins, he just cast a bunch of people in his next movie because he's still working on new shit. After Keeper, we're going to get The Young People. And it had already been announced that Lola Tung and Nico Parker would be in it. Now they're adding Brendan Hines, Tatiana Maslany, who was in both The Monkey and Will Be in Keeper. Johnny Knoxville, who I always love. Big Johnny Knoxville fan. Positive masculinity right there, the Jackass crew. Jackass crew, great representation of a positive form of boys being boys. Usually that phrase is like a very weighted, negative thing. Jackass crew, boys being boys in a good way. They're just friends who want to fuck around with each other, make each other laugh, maybe hit each other in the balls sometimes, but they ain't hurting anyone who doesn't sign up to be hurt. I love they're guys being dudes, man. Love the Jackass boys. Never would have thought that the Jackass boys would be the ones who are the least problematic 20 years later, but they're good lads. And Heather Graham, who's awesome, who's recently returned to the horror genre with suitable flesh. Except for Bam. Except for, you can't have them all, but, Anyway, they all joined up on this movie that, again, plot details are currently under wraps. Production's already underway in Vancouver. Okay, they're shooting it. Damn, Oz, get some sleep, man. He's getting better. Bam's getting better. Good. I wish him the best. I hope he does. A few years ago, I remember seeing it's like a video where he was recording, and he was like, in a store, and then he came out to his parked car where his wife or girlfriend or whatever was, and I don't remember the details of what happened in the video, but I remember just being like, man, this is sad. This is a sad situation. Yeah, Steve-O is like legitimately like a cool guy. Got more details on the Halloween video game that's coming out next year. It's from Ilphonic and Gun Interactive, and so it's gonna have the asymmetrical multiplayer thing. But unlike all the other asymmetrical multiplayer games that have come out in recent years, this one will have a single-player story mode, which is very exciting to hear. Sounds like it's going to be a recreation of the first movie. The story content focuses on Michael Myers after having escaped the sanitarium, and it allows players to experience the night he came home from an entirely different perspective. So, how did he escape the sanitarium? What happened at the garage? How did he learn to drive? I hope there's a minigame. I hope there's a minigame where Michael has to take driving lessons and tries to, figure out, what's it, the Perndle? I hope that's a little in-between levels minigame that we have to do. Single-player stories for multiplayer games are a rare thing now, the real DGB, especially when it comes to these asymmetrical multiplayer games. Yes, the Prindle. I don't think I ever saw that episode. Was that Sweet Life? Or was that Life on Deck? Was she in Life on Deck? Did she follow them on the boat? Why would she? She lived in a hotel. I guess, boat's like a hotel on seas. Get a little change in atmosphere, environment. Was she in there? She was in Sweet Life. She was in Sweet Life on Deck. She followed them on the boat? Wow. Why'd she follow them on the boat? Did her dad own the boat? Oh, her dad forced her? Why? What kind of lesson was that trying to impart? Her dad owned the boat. I figured that much, yeah. It was a sea school? That was a fucking school, dude? I guess they were of school age. Those kids need to be in school. They can't just be living on a boat with no education. But the whole boat was a school? I never watched it. That was my division. Which I'm too old to have watched Sweet Life, but I did. But I was too old and did not watch Life on Deck. Oh, just for them. Okay, it wasn't everyone on... The rest of the people on the boat weren't all necessarily in school. The whole boat wasn't a school. It wasn't a school boat. Right on the magic school boat. In that high school, high C's is the best grade you can get. JD Martini. That's good. That's good, dude. Nice. Hey, yeah. That was good, man. Nice. Did Mosby follow them onto the boat? That was his name, right? Yeah? Did everyone follow him on the boat? Did their mom? Their mom was a cool chick, right? She had like a leather jacket and stuff. Everyone watched this show. Ashley Tisdale didn't make it onto the boat? Why didn't she make it onto the boat? She died? There's no fucking way she died. Fuck off, Chris M. Salvin. They didn't kill Ashley Tisdale between... Oh, she had that High School Musical money. Okay. They replaced her with Debbie Ryan. I don't know who Debbie Ryan is. Who's Debbie Ryan? I thought Debbie Reynolds for a second. I was like, that's a weird replacement. Who's Debbie Ryan? Jessie? I don't know who Jessie is. What, the fucking Toy Story thing? Debbie Ryan. Don't get mad at me. How old is this? She's born in 93. Who is this? Horse Girl? I don't know Horse Girl. Oh, that's... Oh, I remember that had like some plagiarism stuff discussion. What is this? What else? What would I have seen this woman in? Her famous cameo in Fast X? She's famous enough to be herself in a cameo in Fast X? She's that meme? Debbie Ryan meme? There's a meme? She's a meme too? Fucking Bing, fuck off. What? This tells me nothing. That's the meme? Is just her making a face? Okay, alright. That's kind of... I get it. Okay, I get it. Alright. Okay, alright. Let's get back on track here. How do we get on this conversation? The Prindle, that's right. I brought this upon myself. Okay. Influencers Curtis David Harder is going to be directing a horror thriller called FOMO. I just met this guy a couple of weeks ago. I went to a screening of Influencers, the sequel to Influencer. I really liked it. Can't wait for it to hit Shudder December 12th. Keep an eye out for that. I guess he's got his next project lined up, so that's good. Billed as Midsummer meets Squid Game, FOMO follows a party trip to the Greek islands that turns sinister when a group of friends realize they've become unwilling participants in an ancient ritual with life or death stakes. Shooting it at the Greek islands on location, I'm guessing. He's really good at that. He's so good at making the tourism, cinematic tourism, just beautiful shots of other environments. So I'm excited to see that. Like, he's a cool guy. I was waiting to introduce myself, and he was like, James? I was like, yeah, what? You know me? And then I grabbed a drink with him and the rest of the crew and cast after the show, and it was awesome. They're really cool. So, glad he's getting more work. Ron Perlman launches, I don't know how to say this. Asylum? I don't know what this is. Launches studios. I wasn't going to include this. I was going to cull it out of the live stream despite the first film featuring David Dastmalchian, who we all love. But then I saw that this studio will offer equitable profit sharing at the center of its business model, ensuring that writers, directors, crew members, and production staff share in the success of each project. That's awesome. That was why I left this in here. A profit-sharing studio system for all the creatives who work on the films. That's super cool, dude. Because I remember when Sinners came out and Coogler made the deal where like he would own the movie and the rights in like 20 years or some shit. And it was this huge deal because the studios, I think the distributors are often the ones who own the IP. But it was like, why shouldn't the guy who fucking wrote and directed it own the IP? Granted, yes, he's getting the money to make it from the studio. So maybe it's the production company that owns the IP, probably? I don't know. I don't really know. But it just seems like it makes sense to me that the person who makes it, you know, if you could, after you pay back the people who funded it and make sure that they profit for their investment, which is a risk. I understand how that works, why you need that aspect of it, but I feel like after that point, it just makes sense for the person who made the thing to own the thing. So good on Ron Perlman for taking a step into here. Wild that what you're saying is a controversial opinion. Then we got Frankenstein Popcorn Bucket. This movie is not in theaters everywhere. It's just in theaters some places. I saw it in theaters. Saw it on Thursday. But if you want to have a little popcorn bucket at home, eat some fucking popcorn out of a skull, you can drop $85 for this skull popcorn bucket for Frankenstein. You can also get the t-shirt, crew neck, I think a hat is in there, tote, water bottle. So, you know, if you want this little skull guy, easy breezy $85. I mean, it looks cool, but I don't know if it looks $85 cool. And that's coming from me. You guys have seen me purchase things on these live streams before. Literally, bought this motherfucker on the stream. And I didn't even, I don't even remember how much he cost. It didn't matter to me. I paid it because I wanted him. Now he's mine. What is that, Michael? It's from Deep Red. Profondo Rosso. Good giallo film. I think his name's Billy. Pretty sure Billy gets his name from this Billy. Thank you, Shadow Jagger. I do feel like this is a little lighter than what I expected from it. Like, it looks good mold-wise, sculpt-wise, but it feels a little light, and it almost feels like a little baby toy. Like, I could just see a baby fucking... Oh. Got some breakfast on him. Anyway. He's good now. Anything else new here? Oh, did you guys see my hymn football? Oh no, Belial blocks it. That's why. This is pretty cool with the stitches and the blood and a little hymn football that's in there. You'll see more of this in my set tour video whenever that comes out. All right. Yeah, there's a popcorn bucket. What was this? Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 announced for PC. Everyone loves Poppy Playtime. I see that little Here's what was new information for me. They added the blue fucker to Fortnite. He runs around. He's a little blue guy. It was funny. One of my squad boys, what was it? SEAL Team Unk. One of my boys saw that skin and was like excited about it. I was like, "Oh, dude, you play Poppy's Playtime?" And he was like, "No, what is that?" He just liked the blue guy. Huggy Wuggy. That's what it is. So, gun to my head, I would have said that fucker's name was Poppy. until I found out that his name is Huggy Wuggy. I had no idea that his name was Huggy Wuggy. I thought he was Poppy. Guess not. Poppy must be someone else, because I don't play those games. But I know... Oh, Poppy's a little red Annabeth doll. Annabelle? I've played the game and forgot he isn't Poppy. At least it's not as bad as when we were playing Fortnite for a charity stream on Thursday, and Zoran and Michael, social media coordinator Michael, who's in the chat, called Art Terrifier. They're like, oh, I'll be Terrifier for this round. What? You gonna call Ghostface Scream? That's like... Oh, you weren't there? Who did that then? Was that Tim? Sorry, Michael. No, I won't slander Michael. I'm sorry. Michael, let me clear your name. It was Tim. It was writer Tim. It wasn't Michael. It was writer Tim. Thank you for the correction, producer, brand manager Ben Bellevue, without whom these live streams would not happen. He was also playing with us. He did not call Art Terrifier. Thanks, Mr. Firestarter. Yo, Firestarter. Thoughts on the Alien Earth Xenomorph skin? I think it looks cool. I bought it. Anyway, Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. It's going to be an exciting continuation of Chapter 4. You can solve devious puzzles and overcome dangerous obstacles as the true rotten heart, the center of Playtime code, draws nearer. Get that in ya. Look at this. It's a nasty looking 5. What we got here? Anything cool? Anything in this video? There's a burning thing. That's on fire. 5. Great. That's the number. Perfect Girl reunites K-pop Demon Hunter star. So it's a K-pop thriller called Perfect Girl. It's described as Scream meets Black Swan. And it'll involve Mei Hong, who played Mira, and Arden Cho, who played Rumi, along with some K-pop stars. And this movie follows a new K-pop supergroup preparing for their debut with only 4 spots available in the band and the final cut a week away. The competition's off the charts. I wonder if it's going to have any Perfect Blue elements to it. I don't know. Sounds kind of slashery, actually. Perfect Blue's not the same. Not quite that. But are they going to add the person who played Zoe? I forget her name, but she's in Until Dawn, and she was very nice when I met her. That'd be cool. So yeah, production began this week in Thailand, so stay tuned. There's Survival showing it. What? What's that? There's Survival showing it. Yeah, the voice of Zoe is in Until Dawn. Yes. Not the singing voice, but the voice acting voice. The Academy Museum, like it sounds like the version of forming a K-pop group where it's decided by a live survival show. Oh, yeah. Wasn't that the Blackpink case? Thank you, Shadow Jagger, and thank you, Hyperfixation. The Academy Museum, which if you're in LA, the Academy Museum fucking rules. Love it. Really enjoyed going there. And next year, they are opening an immersive exhibition called the Horror Show. So it's a horror-focused exhibition. It'll run from September, so almost a year from now it's going to open. September 2026, and it'll run to July 2027. And it'll explore representations of identity, sexuality, and ability in horror films, including all these classics. While offering a behind-the-scenes look at the storytelling and production process of these films. So that'll be cool. Again, I just love the Academy Museum. I went there during I think there was a Godfather exhibit going on. It was really cool. You can see some of one of the pairs of ruby red slippers from Wizard of Oz that's in there. It was like, there was this room with like a color spectrum of movie props, famous props. Like going in gradations of color. It was really cool to see. And the red representation was the ruby slippers. Sad that I'll have to wait so long for that, but we'll get there. Godzilla Minus One gets a follow-up. Its sequel will be called Godzilla Minus Zero. Makes sense, I guess, to me. It'll be Takashi Yamazaki returning. He was the guy who wrote, directed, and did the visual effects on Godzilla Minus One. He's doing the same thing with this sequel. So that'll be cool. Is it filming yet? No? Oh, there's the... Can't read more. Can't read more. But there will be another Godzilla movie. And then Kyle Gallner is writing and starring in a survival monster movie called Man vs. for Radio Silence to produce it. And the director will be Justin Martinez, who helped found Radio Silence and even helped direct their first VHS short, 10/31/98, and also directed the Live and Let Dive short in VHS Beyond, the skydiving one. So he will be directing a script written by Kyle Gallner, who will also be starring in it, as a character who is betrayed and left to die in an unforgiving Rocky Mountain winter. An injured gold rush miner must use everything at his disposal to survive the elements, wild animals, and a looming ancient danger far more terrifying than anything you could imagine. So, cool. We love Kyle Gallner here. He's great. Oh yeah, one of the producers is Roy Lee. He helps produce everything. He did Weapons recently. He did Companion. So that'd be cool. Any word on when this will be, or if it's if it's production yet? I don't think it's in production yet. All right. Ever since I watched The Passenger, I'm afraid of Kyle Gallner. Passenger's amazing. Passenger, we should do a kill count on it just to show people. You know what else we watched? Halloween night, we got back from our parties and put on The Final Girls. Really loved it. Really loved The Final Girls. I had seen it once before, and I remember liking it, but Chelsea had never seen it. We watched it. So it's so good. The acting from Taissa Farmiga and Malin Ackerman really are just fucking fantastic. So that's another one I would like to cover on the kill count, just to show more people that it exists. I will mention that the Scream 7 trailer came out. I think it came out Monday or whatever. I'm not going to watch it here. I generally don't like watching trailers. I just don't like doing it on the streams. It's not my favorite thing. I know some people like it, but it's not my favorite. You can go watch it. And that's all I'll say. I'm still, feel so conflicted about Scream 7. It feels like a real bummer. Just everything around it, when it used to just be my clear favorite franchise. But you can watch it, have your own opinion. That's that. Okay, so here's the headline. Our main story tonight. Our main story today is the Terrifier lawsuit filed by my dear friend, Catherine Corcoran. Heads up to begin with, Catherine Corcoran is one of our best friends. Me and Chelsea both love her so much. She is just the sweetest, kindest person. She has such a good heart, and she's also very smart. I know that she plays sometimes like ditzy characters. She is extremely intelligent, very much in a business sense. So this is not a frivolous thing that she is doing. This is not something that was just filed for the hell of it, or to as a way to get like cheap money. But she has filed a lawsuit against the Terrifier producers. And I will go into detail based on what I know. I guess at the top, I'll say I'm not a lawyer. So nothing I say is in any way in expertise, opinion, or analysis of the situation. I can't divulge information that would be, private or not public, so I'll only discuss the public details from what I know. and just understand that the bias here with this situation is that Catherine is just one of our best friends. But then I also am pretty good friends with Damien, who is named in the lawsuit. Damien Leone, the writer, director, filmmaker of Terrifier. I think Damien's a good guy. I'm not super close to him. I don't, hang out with him outside of conventions or stuff, but I have hung out with him at conventions. I have done interviews with him. I have chatted with him, and he seems like a good guy. I think that he listens to feedback really well. In our interviews with the Terrifier 3 cast, everyone said that he made them feel very comfortable on set. And I think that was something he learned how to do, because that was not the case with the first movie, where it was a very low budget. It was shot under very grueling conditions. I don't think they really knew what they were doing, in all honesty, as this lawsuit alleges. So there's been a lot of discussion about this online, and I just want to clear up some things that I see that make me so mad when I see them. Like I said, one, this is not something that Catherine just decided to file near 10 years after the first movie came out as a way to get money. If you think that this was just a on the whim type thing that only just happened, you don't know how legal things work. They take a long time. There's a years-long process, and this is something that has been in the works for a long time. So this wasn't just filed on a whim. Okay? That's one. And two, again, I have to stress that Catherine is a very intelligent person. I'm pretty sure a few years ago she took classes at some kind of Harvard associate thing about law and filmmaking law. Just I don't think it was copyright law. I think it was contract law. She knows what she's doing. She wouldn't just do something frivolously. So, oh, and one more thing. A lot of this has to do with the back end deal that was arranged. Back end means it is a term that means getting money from the film after it has been released, whether that's from the ancillaries, whether that's from profit sharing, whatever. It is opposed to a front end deal where you are paid prior to the work or just for the production. Okay, I only bring that up because I've seen some discussions online where the people talking about clearly they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So they'll say something like, I don't know how legit it is. After all, it says it's a back-end deal, so I don't know how official that is. That's not, I assume, the only thing I have to assume is that they are mistaking back-end for back alley and think that this was just done with a fucking handshake or on a phone call or something. No, a back-end deal is not any way a less formal or official. It's a real thing, so don't be dumb. Okay. Yeah, it's not an under-the-table deal. That's right. All right, so Catherine Corcoran has sued the producers, which includes director Damien Leone, alleging breach of contract and the distribution of sexually explicit materials without consent. So here's what's up. The big thing is the unpaid royalties. Okay, and this complaint is right here. You can find it publicly, okay? So I am going off of what I have read in this complaint. The main thing is that when they filmed Terrifier, this was about 10 years ago, I think, in 2015. As you probably are aware, the first Terrifier was a very low-budget film. All right? It was made for $35,000. That's nothing. When they made it, to accommodate for that ultra-low budget, Catherine agreed to go to film it for $100 a day. Okay? She was a SAG member at that point, I'm pretty sure. Won't say with certainty, but it was under a SAG agreement where it was because this movie is so low budget, you can pay this rate. In exchange for that very low rate, there was an agreement that she would receive 1% of profits from and or related to the Terrifier motion picture and any future Terrifier motion pictures, as well as 1% of the profits from any Terrifier related merchandise. So that is a lot of money. Assuming this is accurate and does in fact cover the entire Terrifier franchise, that's going to be a lot of money. In discussions about this lawsuit that I have seen take place, I've seen people say that the 1% of profits was to only be related to the original Terrifier film. Okay? If that were to be the case, the original Terrifier film didn't make a lot of money. You know, it really blew up with Terrifier 2, which came out several years later. It came out in 2022, whereas the original film Terrifier premiered at film festivals in 2016, but I think got really big after Netflix had it in 2018. Okay? One of the exhibits, Exhibit A, Exhibit B, you know, like that. One of them, attached to the complaint, is the agreement here, where, again, you can see Catherine signed it for a start date of August 31st, 2015, for a daily rate of $100. And another exhibit attached to it is the mutual non-disclosure agreement. Okay, so this is an NDA. If you're familiar with NDAs, it means you can't talk about things. This is saying that Catherine will receive 1% of profits from Terrifier. But Catherine must not disclose this information nor discuss this with anyone other than a Dark Age Cinema executive. The reason it is being discussed now is because it is alleged that the Dark Age Cinema and the producers of Terrifier did not hold up their end of the bargain, meaning Catherine is not needed to follow the NDA. So here is where some confusion has developed in the discussion. This NDA mentions, let's see here. It mentions, this agreement shall remain in effect for a period of 2 years from the effective date. So some discussion, including I think the Hollywood Reporter article about this, interpreted this to mean that the royalties deal that Catherine agreed to, the 1%, that would only last for 2 years. And so a lot of the discussion has been around, well, if she signed up for this thing in 2015, 2 years later, it's 2017. Terrifier is not big in 2017, so there's not a lot of money to be had from the 1% of all the royalties. But as far as my understanding goes, the 2-year thing is only for the NDA aspect of this agreement. It is for the not discussing the details about the proprietary and confidential information, etc., etc. Also, I do find it interesting, not interesting, but I think it's maybe emblematic of the way that they ran the set, that even this NDA says, shall for a period of 3, and then it has the number 2 in parentheses, years from the party. So I don't know if it was changed from 3 or 2 at some point, but even this is a little, slapdash. In any case, the 2-year thing, as far as I know, doesn't apply to the 1% royalties agreement. It only applies to the NDA. Okay? Again, I am not a lawyer. I'm not an expert in these matters. I have read through this complaint. By the end of it, maybe I was skimming when it was starting to get a little repetitive with stuff. But I am just giving you the information that I have as I understand it. So, again, don't take anything that I say as gospel. I'm just trying to dispel some of the assumptions that I've seen happening in the online conversations about this, because I don't like my friend being misrepresented. Okay? In this
agreement we have, it says Catherine will receive 1% profits from Terrifier. That's all it says here. So, what does that mean? Does that just mean the first film, Terrifier, and its box office and physical media sales? That's an easy assumption to make reading that. But I also have an understanding that by not specifying that it is Terrifier, the film, that may mean Terrifier the property. And at least that's what the complaint itself is alleging. So maybe they have more documentation elsewhere that can elucidate the details about this. But the complaint itself says that it's 1% of the profits from and or related to the Terrifier motion picture and any future Terrifier motion pictures, including merchandise. Okay? If the complaint's saying that, I'm going to assume they have something to stand on to make that claim. That's more than just the exhibit that is publicly available. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Hopefully we will find out. All of this sounds complicated, honestly. Yeah, Zachary, law is complicated, and I feel like it's opaquely complicated intentionally to make things way too difficult for people to figure out on their own. It feels real dumb. Anyway, you can read through this complaint. Again, it's publicly available. I did have to sign up for a site to get it and download it, but you can do that for free. I'm just going to have to remember to cancel the trial for it. But it goes into detail just about how Catherine's experience filming Terrifier, they were dangerous conditions. She was, let's see, let's dive into a little bit of details here, because so far I've talked about just the royalties. There is that other aspect to it that I'll get to in a second. So Corcoran was cast in the role of Dawn, a character with the most dangerous but also one of the most iconic and enduring scenes in the entire film series, wherein she was to be hung upside down and shackled by her feet without any real safety measures in place and sawed in half with a hacksaw. Okay. She, again, agreed for a very low daily rate in exchange for a percentage of back-end profits. And here's the thing. Okay. So for the nudity, all right? Because I've also seen people online be like, what, she didn't know she was going to be naked in the scene where her character is killed naked? Apparently, the problem here is that the production did not receive or obtain an informed written consent from her. Okay? That is a SAG requirement. A production that features nudity or sexual content has to have, apparently, I wasn't even aware of this, but apparently you have to have a written consent, including a general description of the extent of the nudity, and without such informed written consent, any film or still images involving nudity are de facto and de jure deemed to have been obtained without the actress's consent, and so they don't have that. And I believe that they don't because it was a very indie film. But, you know, you gotta get your fucking paperwork in order, guys. Especially for something like that. Because she says in here how she showed up and that they wanted her to film it entirely nude. And that she had to kind of argue for... So they never got the written consent. When she appeared on set to film the scene, she recognized she was the only female on set. They informed her that the scene was to be done with her fully nude, but she insisted that she at least wear underwear during filming. And again, they did not have the informed written consent. Okay? Also, little detail here. The first thing she did for the production was to get a body mold. Apparently the prosthetics had actual rat feces in them because they weren't stored properly, so those were put on her skin. And then while creating the silicone mold for her body cast, the producers of the film required her to lie nude on a piece of plywood, which the process was done incorrectly. The silicone dried and essentially glued her to the plywood. And to make matters worse, Phil Falcone, the producer named here, took numerous still photographs of her nude body while she was glued to the plywood without her consent. So apparently that occurred. This is just, and it's hard for me to like read about just like a close friend doing this. She was like 21, or was she 19? She was very young when she filmed this. She was like around 20, 21 at the oldest. So, and again, it's that just informs kind of the details here. Imagine being a 21-year-old showing up to set. These are the conditions, but you don't want to be the difficult one, so you just go along with it. During filming of her scene, to mitigate the pooling of blood in her head while suspended by her ankles, she, I think, like, Googled how long you can safely be held upside down, and that's why they filmed the scene in 40-second increments over the course of 10 hours, with a platform intermittently placed underneath her so that she could be horizontal in between takes, with her nude body lifted onto it in between takes, wrapped in a blanket in between takes, but then it got saturated with fake blood, so it ceased providing any warmth. This is all taking place in a condemned building in 20-degree weather, so that sounds awful. And then she went to the doctors afterward and was told that she suffered cranial swelling and eardrum damage. So yes, she suffered for her art. And no, this is the scene Terrifier 1. And again, a lot of people will be like, well, Terrifier 1 wasn't even a big movie. It got big with the sequels, which is true culturally, financially. But, like, we're all joking if we say that Terrifier would have been as big without this scene, right? This is the scene that made Terrifier. And Catherine agreed to do it all. And it's an uncomfortable thing to do. I don't know if you can find just anyone to do it. This is the scene. This is what makes Terrifier the cult hit in the late 2010s that people whisper about, that you find on Netflix and you're afraid to watch. It's because this is the scene. And so, legal aspect aside, which of course is what it's going to come down to, they owe Catherine a lot just for being willing to do this and for being the spark that set off the Terrifier franchise. And again, if they were fulfilling everything in the contract, or if she had not done this 1% back-end deal, then it's like, okay, as long as you're fulfilling your legal obligations, we can all discuss from a cultural standpoint what she owed just as, like, fans of horror. But there's also a legal aspect here. So it's not just a matter of, being like, they should throw her a bone for doing this. They legally have to, according to this agreement. Let's see. So she started to get checks, royalty checks, only after Terrifier 2 came out. So again, that doesn't line up with the misunderstanding of the 2-year limit thing. If the deal was that she would only receive royalties for 2 years, why would she begin receiving checks after the second movie came out in 2022? Doesn't make sense. But she began receiving those royalties. And that makes sense timing-wise, because before then, maybe 1% of royalties of profit or whatever. I don't know if it was revenue or gross or what. But prior to Terrifier 2, it would make sense that maybe the first movie hadn't technically made money, and so the 1% royalties wouldn't amount to anything. But after Terrifier 2 comes out, she begins to receive royalty checks, and that are sporadic, according to the complaint. And the lines on the checks are cryptic as to what exactly the payment was for. Dist T1, Q1 Epic, or just merchandise. But she is apparently receiving royalty checks for merchandise, so that is again backing up the claim that it's not just about 1% of royalties of the box office or the physical media sales. It does say merchandise, allegedly, in these checks. Then Terrifier 3 comes out, and that makes almost $100 million bucks the box office, so crazy successful. But apparently Catherine stopped receiving royalties in July of 2024, and her total royalties that she has received from the back-end deal is apparently $8,341.61. And I am guessing that is not accurate as far as the 1% goes, if that includes merchandise, seeing as Art the Clown's fucking everywhere, including these large stores. When Catherine confronted producer Phil Falcone and Damien Leone about the status of her royalty payments and obtaining appropriate backup, she was brushed off, with Leone stating that Falcone handles all the accounting matters, and then Falcone saying he purportedly doesn't keep records, which I don't know if that's legal. I don't think that's a good defense. We can't pay you because we don't keep records. I feel like that's, yeah. And then finally, there's some stuff about Terrifier merch bearing her nude image, which was obtained without her required informed written consent. So that's where we're at with this. This is all according to the publicly filed complaint that, again, you can get. The court case, or I don't know if it's called a court case yet. Here's the case number if you want to look it up yourself. Again, I had to sign up for a free trial at a website to obtain this and read through it. But I just wanted to, look at the details myself, because again, a lot of the discussion around this that I've seen, mostly on Reddit, but elsewhere, it's just people seeing headlines, maybe doing quick cursory glances and just running with what they... And listen, I get it. I want to say that I've seen a lot of response to this that from people who are like on Catherine's side in this whole dispute, saying stuff like, I knew Terrifier was shitty. I knew that Terrifier fans are fucking weirdos and creeps. I strongly disagree with that. I don't think that just because you like Terrifier that you're a weirdo or that you have something wrong with you. Some of the sweetest people I've met are huge Terrifier fans. It's a fake horror series. There are things to like about it. If you don't like it, I totally understand that too. I'm not going to try to say that you're wrong for disliking it, but I am a Terrifier fan, at least parts 2 and 3. I like what they have to offer. And again, I'm friends with Damien. And from what I know of him, everything I know of him, he seems like a good guy. And I really hope that this is just a legal thing that gets resolved and that Catherine gets whatever she is properly owed. And that, and this is something where, like, again, this has been in the works for, it would have had to be a long time, months if not years. I know that Catherine wouldn't have done this lightly because it's a scary thing to do. It's rocking the boat. This is a claim against one of the most popular horror franchises out there right now, with very involved fans, very dedicated fans. That has to be terrifying for her, no pun intended. And it's also, something that could affect her friends. The Terrifier cast is such a close-knit group of people, and I'm sure it must be difficult for her to do something that could potentially harm the income or even reputations of her friends, our friends. Like, we all hang out at these conventions. We all are good friends, and that's got to be a scary thing to do. But at the same time, if you're owed this money, you have to get what you deserve. If you risked not making anything except for a few $100 for a cheap day rate to put yourself in physical danger in very uncomfortable situations, but in exchange for that, you made the gamble of, if this is successful, I will get something. It's successful. You should get something. So, I don't know where this goes from here. I'm assuming, I've never been involved in a lawsuit, so discovery, that's a thing, right? Where more details and documentations will come out, hopefully, if they kept them. But, yeah, I guess that's all I got. Any questions about this? Anything that you guys are unclear about that I can maybe shed some light on if I know the information or have any insight? Someone said, I have a feeling it'll settle before going to trial. I mean, as long as Catherine gets what she deserves, that'd be good. Like I said, Damien's a friend, but Catherine is like a best friend, and so I'm going to be inclined to... And again, she's such a smart person, guys. She is just... She wouldn't do this if she didn't strongly believe there was a case. And I don't think she would hire lawyers who would like, blow smoke up her ass about the viability of this case. So, anyone saying they got here late, what's the lawsuit about? You can watch the VOD. I'm sorry, I can't go back and do it again. There's a long, detailed description of it all. So, let's see. Oh yeah, Larry Zerner is the lawyer for Damien and Phil Falcone and their side. Larry Zerner played Shelley in Friday the 13th Part 3. He is a lawyer and has been for a long time. I only met him once, very briefly, at Halloween Horror Nights. He was with my friend Judy. He seemed nice. What else we got? Anything else? The VOD just gets posted right here to the channel after it's done. You can access it, same link. How long ago did I meet Catherine? I mean, that's the thing is, you can go back and watch our podcast episode about the first Terrifier back in 2018, 2019, whenever. And Chelsea and I don't like the movie. We say that Art the Clown is very well done, that David's very good in the role. But we do say that the acting is bad. We specifically say, I'm pretty sure, that we call out Catherine as a very bad actor in it. That was before we had ever met any of them. And then at our very first convention where we had a table, we were seated right next to the Terrifier folk. And they had seen that podcast episode, and they were so nice to us. They did not hold any ill will. And Chelsea always says that she is astounded by Catherine's grace. Because Chelsea says that if anyone had said anything that we said about Catherine, about one of Chelsea's performances, she doesn't think that she could be their good friend. But Catherine is like, oh no, yeah, you guys have good points. I agree. And like I said, is one of our best friends, and I can't praise her enough. Again, just the grace to do that, to see that criticism and be like, I'm not going to hold it against them. Amazing. And of course, she was my podcast co-host on Scream Dreams while that was around with her and Barbara, which was fantastic. So, do I think Terrifier 4 will be delayed or even canceled? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I would imagine that I don't think Catherine wants that. I can almost say with certainty that Catherine doesn't want that. This isn't like I don't know, she's not trying to hurt people. She's just trying to get what she deserves, you know? Anything else? Thank you, Ryan Rainville. Appreciate that. Have any other cast members come out in support of either side? I don't think publicly anyone has said anything on it, which is probably, going to remain the case. I think it's just one of those things where, again, the horror community is so tight-knit. We're all friends with each other. And this is not the first lawsuit that's happened between people in the horror community. These things happen. Especially in a genre where there are so many low-budget independent films, where maybe they don't have the most professional record keeping. This happens. And it gets resolved. And sometimes the people never patch things up. Sometimes they do. And they're friends again later. So I'm hoping that there will be a resolution to this where, people are mostly happy and justice is served. So we'll see. Maybe I'm ill-informed. Most of this falls on a producer and not Damien, right? I can't say percentages, but the people named as defendants are Dark Age Cinema, production company, Art the Clown LLC, production company, Fuzz on the Lens Productions, Phil Falcone, who is the producer, who I've never met, I don't think. And then Damien is listed here, and does 1-10. I don't know what that is. But Damien's listed like last, so I don't know if that matters, if that means anything. Yep. All right. Anything else before I wrap things up? Because obviously that went long. We'll get to the dead meat news real briefly, but please don't excuse his shitty actions just because you're a friend. I'm not excusing anything. I am saying that the Damien Leone that I know in 2025 seems like a nice guy who has listened to feedback, and my impression is that he has grown as a person in the past 10, even 5 years. He's listened to things that people have said, and I'm not just basing this on how he treats me, but also how his cast of how his cast of Terrifier 3 has spoken about him. They have all said that he has taken care of them, made them feel very comfortable. So that says to me that despite the very shitty conditions here with the first film, the dangerous conditions here for Catherine and anyone else who was involved, all I can say is that it seems as though that is not the case. That doesn't seem to be the way he operates anymore. So I'm not excusing anything. I'm not justifying anything. I'm just saying from my perspective, from what I know, I don't think he is from my understanding of Damien, I don't think he is like a bad guy. But, I'm just going with what I know and my own personal experience. All right. Now I wonder if the shower scene was shot ethically. Well, that's what I'm saying, Sage Corduroy, is that the people involved in the shower scene, Chelsea and I had a very long discussion with them, a public panel at a convention, and they spoke very highly of the experience. They said that what they described was absolutely nothing like this. There was an intimacy coordinator there for Terrifier 3. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. Because that was not the case on Terrifier, obviously. And even if you, if you have fixed the process and are no longer doing things in a shitty way, if you did things in a shitty way, there should be some kind of compensation, some kind of reaction for it. Okay. Let's move on. Oh, real fast. Movie's coming out this week. Frankenstein on Netflix, November 7th. That's Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein that he's wanted to make his entire fucking life. And then not yet. Predator Badlands, hitting theaters, same day, November 7th. Follow up to Killer of Killers, which was covered on the Kill Count. And what's this one? The Beldam. Oh, Corbin Burnson, the dentist. Oh, Katie Parker. Oh, fuck. Katie Parker is a sweetheart, dude. She's in a bunch of Mike Flanagan stuff, and we met her at a convention, her and her dog. She's the sweetest lady. I love her.
She was so nice. Oh, go see this. Support her. I don't know anything about it.
At the edge of postpartum psychosis, new mother Harper, that's Katie Parker, moves in with her own mother at their family's rural farmhouse. Soon she finds herself hunted by a threatening monster who has designs on her child. Is Corbin Burnson the threatening monster? Is the threatening monster a dentist? All right. On to Dead Meat News before I get out of here for my workout. Dead Meat News. We just had the Predator Killer of Killers episode come out on Halloween Day. Sorry it was late. It was copyright claimed. Still has the copyright claim on it. So that's another October kill count that we didn't make money off of. Rough October for us this year, but hope you enjoyed it. Felt like a good episode. And then make sure you're following our socials. If you don't, we put fun stuff on the socials. And for instance, on the Instagram and TikTok, there's a video I recorded at our Halloween party of me taking all the British sweets that fans gave me in Manchester and having all of our friends try them and say what they thought on tape. So you can see that. It's cute. You get to see a bunch of fun Halloween costumes. See a bunch of friends. Dead Meat Podcast this Wednesday. We watched Match on Tubi. Anyone hear of this? Real gross fucking movie. It is a original Tubi film directed by Danishka Esterhazy, who made the Banana Splits movie and the Slumber Party Massacre remake from a few years ago. So she directed Match on Tubi, and real gross movie. Check it out if you want to see a movie where you will continuously say, wait, what are they doing? Where's this going? And you will scream, and you will be grossed out. It is Match on Tubi. So this is what we're covering on the podcast. Real gross. It's a screamer. Can we see the trailer? Sure. Is there one? Here we go. I haven't watched the trailer, so I don't know how much it gives away. I've got my workout in 15 minutes. You can watch the trailer if you'd like. But that's the movie. It's Match on Tubi. Sorry. And then I filmed a set tour video. Just got to review a cut of it. So I don't know when that'll be out, but it'll be out at some point. And then more gross than the milk in VHS. Yes. Yes. Anything else? Oh, yeah, this was, should have been promoted before Halloween, but I think it's still up on MovieSphere Plus. Oh, did I talk about this last week? MovieSphere Plus, Double Screechers. You guys know what I'm talking about? Let's see here. This fucking picture of me. I look like such a little goober. Double Screecher, presented by Dead Meat. This is available on MovieSphere Plus, everyone's favorite streaming service. You can start a 7-day free trial to watch it. And so what we did here was Chelsea and I'm just so... Why do I look like I have acorns in my mouth? Chelsea and I did a series called Double Screecher. And what it is Lionsgate asked us to promote some of their movies, some of their B movies. For instance, Kill Giggles is one of them. And where are there more? Oh yeah, here they are. Look at these. So we took 5 of their B movies and we paired them with other movies that are better known from their library. And then it's basically a mini Joe Bob thing. One day I'd like to do a full-on like horror host thing where we take breaks during the movie and discuss them. For these, we just intro the films. We talk about each one and why we chose to pair them. But they're like 10 minutes each, and then you can watch the 2 movies. And it's fun if you want to watch like a more professional movie and then a more indie film. So we have Piranha 3D, which we paired with a movie called Big Freakin' Rat. There's Peeping Tom, 1960 classic, which we paired with a movie called Pretty Boy. Ginger Snaps, everyone who wanted to hear how big's the rat, it's big and freaking. It's freaking big, dude. Ginger Snaps, everyone always wants us to talk about Ginger Snaps. We paired that with something called Shadow of the Wolf. Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, fuck yeah. Which we paired with the Salem Chronicles, which was a fun watch. I enjoyed the Salem Chronicles a lot, actually. And then Hellfest, which has been on the kill count, but we paired that with a movie called Kill Giggles. So again, you can get your free trial of MovieSphere Plus. You can watch this little intro. A lot of good analysis by Chelsea and I in those. And then watch those movies. All right. Again, if you're late, Scream 7, the trailer's out. You can watch it. That's all I got. I'm not going to watch it on stream. And Stranger Things kill count. The plan is still to get it out before the new series comes out. That's the plan. We'll fucking hope. And I guess I will just leave you with one more thing. And it's my face when I am told... Oh, merch? Is there merch that I got to mention? I haven't been watching Survivor 49. I watched 2 episodes, and I'm like, I don't really like this. Maybe we'll get back to it. We gotta watch the new Smiling Friends. We gotta watch the new Chair Company. Oh, there's Hell House LLC merch. Oh my god, there's so much. I'm never gonna get to this workout. Deadmeatstore.com, I am assuming, is the place to go for that. Yes, it is, in fact. Deadmeatstore.com. Check it out. This looks really cool. We collaborated with Hell House LLC for some pretty cool merch where you can even see it's got the Dead Meat Video logo on it. It has a little Dead Meat Video featured there. So, pretty cool designs here. You got a t-shirt, you got a crew neck, you got a poster, you got a hat. So, check it out at deadmeatstore.com if you would like this. Why Hell House? Because we really like that first movie. I think the clown is awesome, and this opportunity came our way. So... you can get Dead Meat Video and Hell House branded merch. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I will just leave you with my face when I realize October is over. Thanks, everyone. Catch you next time. Be good people.